Welcome to Authentic Ag. I'm Erika Poppelreiter, filling in for Ken Rahjes. On this week's program, we'll be speaking with the Kansas Foundation for Ag in the Classroom's Teacher of the Year. We'll also be speaking with Dr. Sharon Thielen with Kansas Corn. We'll also have weekly updates from Kansas Livestock Association, Kansas Corn, Kansas Wheat, and of course, our weekly commodity update with Paragon Ag Advisors.
Brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on three main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
We're here with Dr. Sharon Thielen, who is the Director of Education for Kansas Corn. And we're going to talk a little bit about their education program with students across the state of Kansas. So you guys started and initiated this program a few years ago. What are some of the successes you've seen? And tell us a little bit about what that program includes.
Yeah, so the Kansas Corn Commissioners here in the state decided they really wanted to invest in education. And so what we did is we decided we wanted to focus on teachers in the state because they're the ones that are going to ultimately impact the most students. And so when we got started, the one thing that we did is we went and visited with Kansas teachers, asked them what they needed, what they'd like to see in the classroom, and how to incorporate agriculture into their everyday school life. And as a result, just this last year, we have helped or supported 1,300 Kansas teachers, either by giving them supplies or free training, but most importantly, we have 1,300 teachers in the state that are teaching about the corn industry in some capacity in the classroom.
Well, and I have 3 children and you have 4 children, and we're both clearly involved in the agricultural industry, so we understand the importance of sharing what we do in our industry and how today's food is grown and raised. And so with that, you guys have sort of paired together this STEM sort of teaching and lessons. Tell us how that has impacted the classroom.
Yeah, so we actually support teachers kindergarten through 12th grade, and we know that their needs are very different. And so our kindergarten through 5th grade, we have lessons for elementary teachers. No training is needed. They just go to our website and request these units, but it is all about, where is a seed on a corn plant, or what is needed to grow a healthy plant. But it gets them thinking about those processes and the importance of corn to our industry, and then what farmers have to think about during that growing season. But then as you get into 6th grade through 12th grade, we take it further and we talk a little bit more about biotechnology and how that's impacted farmers and growing corn, and what a GMO is, how we use corn to make ethanol, and what does that process look like. But the labs that we have the students use are hands-on and inquiry-based, which means the kids are learning along with the teachers during this process, which is the best way for teachers and students to learn about our industry, is by them figuring it out on their own. And at the end of the day, when they make those decisions about what are they going to buy at the fuel pump, or why, or how is farmers able to produce more with less, they have that understanding because of the education they learned in the classroom.
So for parents who would like to share this information with their teachers, or for any teachers who are watching, where do they go or who do they contact?
Yeah, it's very easy. We have our website. Just go kansascornstem.com, and it lists everything from lesson libraries to who you contact to, how do I get a free professional development workshop in my schools. It is all there, easy for teachers and parents to access, so you can share it with about anybody.
Again, we're here with Sharon Thielen, who is the Director of Education with Kansas Corn. Stay tuned for more.
I'm Bob Swartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Swartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Swartz Financial values commitment and transparency.
At Farm Credit, we partner with America's farmers who work hard each and every day to grow the food that we all enjoy. It's not an easy task, but it's an important one. Farm Credit is proud to work with farmers and ranchers, lending support in rural America.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Earlier in my life, I rode bucking horses and rodeos, and my shoulders took such a beating, and that was probably the reason for having several previous surgeries on both shoulders. About a year ago, I decided that I didn't want to have another surgery. And so I contacted Kansas Regenerative Medicine, took their treatment process. It was relatively pain-free. Now, after 8 months, my shoulders have healed to the point where I think I'm probably 90 to 95% of normal. It takes a couple of months to start to see results and feel real progress. That continued to increase gradually until now at approximately 8 months. And I'm extremely pleased. I've got full range of motion. I can lift weights, I can throw, I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do without a lot of pain previously. So I'm tickled to death with the results, and I'd recommend this process to anyone.
Erika Poppelreiter here with Patricia Wolf at the Lake Mary School in Paola, Kansas. As you can see, we are in a rather interesting type of classroom, and so I would love for you, Patricia, to tell us a little bit about why your classroom is different and some of the opportunities that Lake Mary provides.
Yes, I am very fortunate to get to work in a barn and an outdoor garden and animal therapy center. So basically my classroom is this section of the outdoors. We have about 2 acres and we have animals and gardens, and the students get to learn where food comes from in a very hands-on way. So it's not only fun for them, but it's educational, but that we get to be outside almost the whole time.
Well, Lake Mary offers some different types of services compared to a traditional public school. Tell us about that.
Lake Mary Center is a psychiatric residential treatment facility, and so our school, K through 12 grades, is within that. So some of our students live here for a time before going back to their regular schools, and some students ride the bus every day and then go back to their homes at night. So we have about 110 students, and it is strictly 100% special ed facility.
Well, and sometimes special ed students need or they learn in different ways, right? I mean, even you and I learn in different ways. And so when they're here, they're getting this very hands-on, real-life experience. And so talk us through some of the activities you do on a daily basis with your students.
Okay, yes, we do have a smaller class size than most schools, about 10 students for each class maximum, and they get to come out here and get very individualized skill training, and they get to plant. Each class has a raised bed that they take care of and grow vegetables, and we have fruit trees, we have flower gardens. Then we have our animals, and each class gets to take turns feeding the animals, caring for them, grooming them. And so that in itself piques their interest, and they become very excited about getting to be outside anyway. But as, like you said, you and I and most people learn with hands-on activities better than just sitting at a desk. So this provides the perfect opportunity for that.
So can we talk a minute just about the carrot story? Because I love the carrot story. And, you know, it's not specific to this school, really. Like, this is something that we would see even in some of, you know, the schools in my area as well. But I do love that story.
We have one of our students, and I found out that they were getting most of their groceries from a convenience store, not even a big grocery store like we're used to. And so this student was pretty excited to grow the carrots and waited all summer to pull one out of the ground. And when we did pull that orange part out of the ground, he said, "Wait, this almost looks like a real carrot." And then when we washed it off and cut it up, and right then and there we were going to eat it, he looked at me a little skeptically and he said, "Are you sure this is safe to eat?" Because he had just never been exposed to produce that was directly from the garden. It was an aha moment.
Well, I think that's super cool. Well, again, we're here with Patricia Wolf, who is a teacher at Lake Mary School in Paola, Kansas. Stay tuned for more.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'd be glad to answer it and work with you.
Joining us again is Patricia Wolf, who is a teacher here at Lake Mary in Paola, Kansas. Now, she isn't just a teacher, she's also the Kansas Foundation for Ag in the Classroom Teacher of the Year. And with even higher honors, you got the National Ag in the Classroom Teacher of the Year for 2020. So first off, tell us a little bit about how you use Kansas Foundation for Ag in the Classroom here in your classroom at Lake Mary.
I love it because the teachers can go right to the website and download curriculum and lesson plans, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel, as I call it, because there's lesson plans out there for topics about crops and animals, and there's text to go with it, but there's hands-on activities and even things you can order, and they get sent right to your school, and you're ready to go. And you have lesson plans that you can use for multiple grade levels, and you can differentiate those according to the needs of your classroom. It's great, and I highly recommend it.
So for any parents or teachers out there that are watching, is there a favorite go-to activity that you think, just really knocks it out of the park and that the students love?
Well, they do like to see things grow. There's a seed germination necklace that they can do, and it's a very simple activity, but you can get a week's worth of lesson plans to go around it. But you put some seeds and some water beads in a little pouch, and they wear it against their body for the heat and the light, and they get to see it almost instantly, within the week, and it's something that they can see, and it's almost instant gratification, and they go and tell everybody about what it is, so that's always a favorite.
Excellent. And so, like I said, you're the Teacher of the Year. Tell us a little bit about what that honor has been like.
Well, that I feel very honored and privileged because I'm one of 8 nationally to get this award. But the reason I like it is I get to tell more teachers about how easy it is to teach their students about agriculture. You don't have to have grown up on a farm in order to use the National Curriculum Matrix or the Kansas one. They're, again, ready-made lessons, and I want to encourage other teachers and show other teachers how easy it is to download these resources and use them in their classroom. So for that reason, I'm lucky and fortunate to get to spread the word.
Well, and you don't have to be nominated to get the award, correct? You go ahead and fill out a one-page application and tell it, Kansas Foundation for Ag in the Classroom, what exactly it is that you're doing and how you're incorporating ag into your classroom, correct?
That's right. It is fairly easy, and at first I was a little hesitant too when somebody asked me to fill it out, but nobody else knows any better than you do what you're doing to teach agriculture to your students, and so we need to find out what you're doing out there because there's a lot of great teachers that are teaching a lot of great lessons about ag, so we'd like to know about it.
Excellent. Well, again, Patricia Wolf here at Lake Mary School in Paola, Kansas. For more information on Kansas Foundation for Ag in the Classroom, visit ksagclassroom.org. On the website, you can access lesson plans, you can request kits so that you can use them in your classroom, or you can even donate to the Kansas Foundation for Ag in the Classroom. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
I'm Dennis McNinch. I serve as the chairman of the Kansas Corn Commission. Right now, some of the things that we're working on that are near and dear to the hearts of farmers in our state and what we're doing to help create more value for the corn they sell is, number one, is trying to get higher blends of ethanol out into the liquid fuel supply. We're obviously an advocate for a higher blend of ethanol today, which would be E15 versus the E10 that we've had in our fuels for quite some time, and not only E15 but other higher blends of ethanol. Additionally, we're starting to work with our legislators from not only a national standpoint but a state standpoint as well, as reaching out and working with the auto industry and the automakers and trying to formulate a low carbon, high octane fuel standard. And by doing so, we feel like we can come up with a better option for the consumer, which would create a fuel that is obviously cheaper for the consumer and is also a lot cleaner for our environment. But that's going to be a heavy lift. Again, we're going to start educating not only Congress but the consumers as well for the benefits of that program. One of the other things that we're doing to help create value is trying to lift exports of ethanol. And ethanol is being recognized internationally now as a cheaper form of fuel for the consumer, just like we have enjoyed here in the United States. Plus, it's also a better option as far as being cleaner for the environment. It's a lot greener product. If you've traveled at all internationally or read anything about air quality internationally, a lot of issues out there, particularly with the smog and so forth. And again, we're working with people overseas to recognize the benefits of ethanol. So we think there's a lot of work to be done, but at the end of the day, I think it would be a benefit to the Kansas farmer plus the consumer.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Researchers at Kansas State University are looking to the experts, commercial wheat growers, on real-world best management practices for improving wheat yields in the state. This research gives a snapshot of how wheat is managed and how management practices are associated with yield. This study is supported in part by Kansas wheat farmers through the Kansas Wheat Commission's 2-penny wheat assessment. Dr. Romulo Lolato, K-State's Extension Wheat Specialist, and Brent Janish, a K-State graduate student in agronomy, have been gathering field-specific wheat management practices from farmers across the state. The study covered a total of about 700 fields from 3 regions: West, North Central, and South Central Kansas. Overall, all regions saw yield improvements with foliar fungicide application. The goal for this survey is to help other farmers get ideas on what methods work and can be tried on their own personal operations. The data collected from this study will be used for determining what factors contributed the most to improved wheat yields. According to Dr. Lolato, a sustainable farm should yield and make money. You want to leave your farm in good shape for the next generation. With those 2 pillars, making money and leaving it for the next generation, we have a lot of data to calculate that. There is still time for additional wheat growers to get involved in this study. The more farmers involved, the stronger the data will be, and this will be a better resource for wheat farmers across the state. If interested, contact Brent Janish or visit kswheat.com/research survey.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Kansas Farm Bureau has served farm families and rural Kansas for more than 100 years, and we're pleased to offer new healthcare coverage choices for Kansans in 2020 through Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. No matter what stage of life you're in, we'll have options that fit your lifestyle. Plus, our network of providers is one of the largest available throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. For more information, including the different plans available, or to get a quote, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
Recently, U.S. Senators Tina Smith of Minnesota and Jim Einhoff from Oklahoma reintroduced the bipartisan Securing All Livestock Equitably Act, which would create a dealer statutory trust. This would give unpaid sellers of livestock the legal right to reclaim livestock, or, if they have been resold, proceeds from livestock in the unfortunate event of a dealer payment default. Under current law, ranchers and livestock auctions often do not have the ability to get the livestock back for which they were not paid and recover little from the dealer's bond. U.S. Representative Roger Marshall introduced a companion version of the bill, House Resolution 6067, earlier this month in the U.S. House Agriculture Committee. As part of the 2018 Farm Bill, Congress instructed USDA to examine the feasibility of establishing a livestock dealer statutory trust. The study revealed a trust of this kind would improve the recovery of livestock sellers in a dealer payment default, while also allowing commerce to continue as usual. Creation of a dealer statutory trust is supported by KLA, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the Livestock Marketing Association, United States Cattlemen's Association, American Sheep Industry Association, and American Farm Bureau Federation.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Good morning. Zach Gotot here with Paragon Ag. This week, like many others this year, has been interesting to say the least. We've seen the entire ag space higher amidst the ongoing coronavirus concerns. Fear and panic is still swirling in the average consumer as we are seeing grocery stores cleaned out and shelf stockers not being able to keep up with consumer demand. People are worried they're going to be stuck at their homes, so they're going out and getting their hands on as much food as they can. This rapid buying brought the livestock markets back to life. The last 2 weeks we've seen huge movements in boxed beef as packers are pushing out as much product as they can. Packer margins are still well in the green as we're seeing positive cash bids leading the futures market up. Wheat mills are in a similar boat, with bread being swept from the stores. They're ramping up production to fill the lack of supply. Interestingly enough, we saw China buy wheat as well, something they haven't done in a few years. Corn's got a different story as it's being kept at bay with the crude market finding new lows. Ethanol margins are still well in the red, and we're seeing limited production and talks of closing plants completely. With limited ethanol production, livestock producers are rolling through the last of their DDG supply and are now having to add soybean meal to its rations. That change in buying is being reflected in the meal futures market, which is actually what's leading the soybean prices higher. Of course, there's talks about Brazil and Argentina closing down plants and cities, which, if that goes into effect any further, we're likely to continue the trend. At this time, with prices not too attractive, there's still things a guy can do to take advantage of what's being thrown at you. An idea? If you haven't priced any of your fuel for 2020, now's about as good a time as ever to price some cheap diesel. Then start looking at grain prices, whether it's old crop or new crop. Set yourself targets and hold yourself accountable. That way when we hit those targets, you execute. Of course, easier said than done. But if you have questions on what you can do at this time, give us a call here at Paragon Ag Advisors at 888-452-8751. I'm Zach Otot. Have a great day.
That concludes our program for the week. Again, I'm Erika Poppelreiter, filling in for Ken Rahjes. Make sure to find us at agview.net and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, and we're glad to answer it and work with you.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agamandkansas.com.